Kofi here. So I wanted to show you some of the progress that's being made on the KinemaPhoto Adobe Photoshop extension. We have a few more features working. So if you recall, the extension has kind of four main areas: selecting clip, creating still mask, setting the loop, and some finishing touches. For example, color grading. So let's see. So I have a small video of a woman here who is currently checking her phone. You can kind of quickly see what it looks like normally. Okay. And so with the app, I'm first going to go to select clip. You can also load your clip using KinemaPhoto, and it will, it'll do a couple checks to make sure your video is not too long, right? You don't want to import a whole movie. Photoshop doesn't really like that. But let's see. So first thing I want to do is move the playhead to roughly where I want the video to start. And why not here? All right, I'm going to set the start over there. Then I'm going to move the playhead to the next area I want it to start. And this is not so bad. All right, I'm going to set end over there. And then I'm going to hit trim all. Okay, and it quickly kind of trimmed the clip. All right, the next piece that you want to do, of course, is select your still layer, right? That's the layer that's going to go on top of your video so that you are able to then show the video underneath, right? And so you have some part still and some part moving. So next, I'm going to go to the next module, create still and mask. For creating the still, you have three options. You can do the selected layer, or the selected part on the trailhead. You can do it from everything that's visible. So if you have a multi-layered composition, you could potentially just take all those layers and use that as a still wherever you are on that, where that playhead is. And then, of course, you can just load up another file that you have and put that on top. So we're going to create our still from selected layer. Okay, great. And so now it's done that, and it's automatically changed the brush so that it will show me where I am painting. So I'm just gonna make the brush size a little bigger. The other thing, of course, you could do here is if you hit paint mask, it will also have the same kind of effect. So I'm gonna do a somewhat sloppy job here, masking out her hair. That's the part where I want to show movement. So in general, if I was trying to be better about it, I would probably try and be a little bit more precise and just to make sure I'm only capturing the areas of the frame where there's going to be movement underneath. But as you can see right now, I'm a little sloppy. One thing KinemaPhoto does, you can also hit erase mask, and as I adjust my brush size here, and to a point where I can then go back and erase some of my sloppiness that I have, right? We have a stray hair, so I am going to paint that stray hair kind of in. Okay, next I can hit play, and we can see the movement underneath, but it's not necessarily, the mask is kind of getting in the way, so I'm going to stop play real quick. I'm going to hit toggle mask. I also noticed that so I'm going to paint again because I noticed that that stray hair was going like off screen and disappearing randomly. Okay, and next I am going to play. All right, cool. Good enough for government work. All right, moving on. Now, the next thing pretty cool, you can set a loop. So if I make sure this layer, whatever video layer is selected, I can add a loop. I can add more loops. And you see that it always extends that top layer, so it's a part of the entire frame, but it's also creating a bunch of loops down here. I can also delete a loop. All right, and by default, keep in mind that the loops are always kind of going forward. There's also a function that reverses any loop, and I will show that in a different video at another point. So now let's play it. We have our first loop in there. Computer's going through. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. If I want to refine it, right, and this might matter for other videos, I might want to set a fade. The fade takes the percentage of the layer above and fades it that way. So I'm going to do that. Make sure the layer at the bottom is selected and hit set fade. And it fades the layer. And if you want me to prove to you that it's fading the layer, I'm actually going to make this last video group at the bottom invisible for the moment, because so what you're going to see with the fade is you see how it just goes away, right? And that's what happens. So you see it fading away, so it's creating that kind of fade and going into this bottom loop. All right, so that's working pretty well. And then some finishing touches. So, this is a vlog video I shot on an X-T2. And so generally you might want to add various color grading options. You could add a curves layer. So let's just make sure it goes to the top and it spans the entire length of the video clip. Same thing with the levels. You could do a color lookup, right? So color lookup, I add that. Again, it's making sure that it goes across the entire thing, and then I can go in, select that. And so that applies a lookup table. And then, a pretty cool thing, same thing with hue saturation, is do a random color grade. And now I'm going through, and it selects kind of randomly. So you have to go till you find one that you kind of like. For the moment this works, I'm going to go and actually decrease the fill. And I'm going to increase the opacity all the way. Decrease fill. All right, I think that works for the moment. And again, I could always go to the curves down and just like any other curve, play around with it, try and get something that is a little bit more appealing, has a little bit more punch to it as well. All right, and there you go. That is, how you make a cinematograph using KinemaPhoto and where we are currently in the development. Thanks.